Alright, what is up guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, we're going to be looking at a game that I played with a black-yellow Charlotte Linlin against a purple Luffy on the sim. So real quick, let me go ahead and pause it. So the direction I've taken black and yellow Charlotte Linlin excuse me, is actually more in the Big Mom Pirates direction, but that's not. I think there's still a few more adjustments I can make to add a few more black card options to the pool, but we'll have to see. But I will say, currently running in this direction with Big Mom Pirates, just the yellow Big Mom Pirates package, it has been running very well and very aggressively, as opposed to the standard control version you would see with the deck. Because from what I play tested and from my current experience, in OP-04 we could play much more passively and just kind of use attrition to get our opponent out of the game. But now, with purple Luffy, with black and blue Sakazuki, you really don't want to take it to late game with them unless you have some tempo to rely on. So that's kind of what you're going to see with this here. Okay? Excuse me. Alright, so you see my hand. I did get the turn 1 Pudding into turn 2 Pero, into turn 3 Gadatsu, into turn 4 Charlotte Linlin, the 7 cost. And that is an extremely powerful position to be in. And notice I attacked there. I got a queen out of his hand. That's another reason you have to put some pressure on your opponent. So he's going to swing 5 at me. I think I'm just going to take it. Well, excuse me, I have 2 Gadatsu, so I get rid of it. And one more thing, guys. In the last video, let me pause it real quick. In the last video, I was using, I was basically playing while talking about what I was doing. And what I think I'm going to do in the future is I'm just going to play as many games as possible, just save the good ones and talk over those so I can do a little more analytical, gameplay analysis style of video. And that's what this is today. So, okay, let's keep going. Let's see what happens here. So he played a Pauly, and he was not able to play it for its effect to KO a character. I swing 5 with Perospero, swing with your characters first when you can, swing with the leader, dropping a Gadatsu. It's okay that it didn't KO the Pauly, right? Because realistically, let me pause it, we were never going to be able to KO Pauly playing on curve against purple Luffy because they're going to take their own life cards to draw them. And you have to keep pressure on them or their hand size becomes too big and they ramp too quickly. Purple Luffy has proven to be a very, very tough matchup for black and yellow Charlotte Linlin. Okay, so he drops the 7 cost, returns a Dawn to go up to 6k for the turn. Looks like he's looking at swinging 7 into Perospero. I'm fine with that. I'll just take the 7 Lin here. Because remember, you can't take Gadatsu. He's Sky Island. And you can't take Sanji. Only Pudding can take Sanji because he's not Big Mom Pirates. So that was nice. Let me go back. I was talking too much. He swings for 6. I take it. Get a cracker trigger off the top. Again, tempo, tempo, tempo. I have 2 7 call Charlotte Linlins in the bank here, so to speak. So why not drop one and then play one this turn? So that's what I do here. Now my opponent is on 6 life. There was a question here on whether I should swing with Gadatsu or not. This is what was going through my head. Looking back, I'm going to pause it. I think I should have just saved the Gadatsu. Like, yes, it's important to put on pressure, but my board looks good right now. You know what I mean? My board looks very strong. I've got the cracker down. I've got Gadatsu. I just put down a 7 cost, 8,000 power Charlotte Linlin. Who cares about the Pudding? He can KO that all he wants to. That's not super relevant. Which, by the way, does bring me to another possibility in the future. I am thinking about adding 200 million volts of Maru to maybe turn on my Puddings later in the game to get some value from them when I'm on 1 life or less. But anyway, regardless, I probably could have not swung with Gadatsu here because I'm pretty sure I'm going to swing at Pauly, and that would have been a fine play. But his leader's at 6,000 power and the Pauly's at 6,000 power, so it didn't really swing at which one it didn't matter which one I swung at. He was going to choose to counter out of it pretty much no matter what. So I swing 6 at Pauly. That probably could have been an instance where I didn't have to do that. Like I probably didn't need to swing there. But at the same time, if he wants to KO my Gadatsu with an attack, it's easier for me to counter out of a 6,000 power character versus my 5,000 power leader. You see the logic there. Okay, so let's see what happens. It looks like my opponent has about 7 cards in hand. They're going to drop down King, so that's going to KO the cracker, no problem. And then 8k into Gadatsu. I'm like, yep, I guess I shouldn't have swung. That was literally all that was going through my head. Then swing 7 at life. I will gladly take the 7 in life. 8 at life, I'll gladly take that. Okay, and now it's my turn. Okay, and I drew into a very good card for where I'm at. So, I swing 8 here with the... Actually, I think I play this first to see what he wants to do. Because if he would have taken a life here, I probably would have swung at life. Right? That's the logic. But then again, if I gain life here, I'd rather just go for the board. Okay? And that ends up being what happens. So the question here is, okay, do I want to swing 8 at the poly, or 10 at the poly, or 8 at the 7 cost, or 10 at the 7 cost? That guy, the kid, the Eustace kid. And in my mind, I'm thinking there is no possible way he's going to let that Eustace kid get KO'd. So I'd rather just swing 8 at the poly here, and then just like put a little more pressure on his life, maybe get some more cards out of hand. I think that's the decision I end up going with here. And so 6, yeah, I think I go 6 at poly, make him use a counter. Because while I want to be aggressive, I do still want to make the right plays, right? I still want to make the correct play. Okay, so I'm pretty sure he's going to counter out of this. Yep, drops the Trafalgar Law. And then 9K at the poly. He's probably not... I don't think he blocks out of this one, yeah. Because that would have been at least 2 cards out of hand. In next turn, you see I've got my mouse over the Charlotte Linlin down there. I'm thinking, okay, next turn we're going to be dropping 10 cost. Pretty much no matter what. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to use some cards out of hand here and keep him busy. Like, okay, I'll defend it. Cool. Use your whole turn to KO my 7 cost character. Swings 10 here. I'm like, okay, I'm going to actually defend it. And I'm fine with that because he's wasting so much. Look at this. That ends up being his entire turn when I have another one on the board. I have another 7 cost 8K Linlin on the board, and I'm about to drop 10 Mom, right? 10 Mom's coming down here. The question is, do you play it first? And I think, honestly, the question I'm having in my mind here is, do I go for life? Like, do I actually start taking my opponent out of this game? Because even if he KOs my 7 Lin next turn, I don't really care, right? It doesn't matter to me as long as he gets the damage across. So I'm like, yep, we're going at face here. You're going to give me 2 cards from your hand, or you're going to be at 0 life next turn, trying to KO my 7 Lin again. Okay, so he did the 0 cost 3K. So boom, I go up to 4 life, and yeah, he goes down to 1, and I have a 10 cost 12K on the board. Now, in this situation, I don't know my opponent's hand, obviously, but I know they have 5 cards in hand. But I'm threatening lethal next turn, right? Because I could just go swing 12, swing 15, the game's over, right? There's just no way, realistically, they're going to be able to block out of that. Now, he gets greedy here and goes for 8 at my 7 cost Linlin. I said, no, that's going to cost you there. If I could have blocked out of that, I would have blocked out of that as well. Because it was like, okay, you know, I need him to get more. Oh, and that was a nice top deck. Or I got that from my life. Because now, even if he played a 5 cost blocker, the game's over, right? The game's just over. I take this gladly. Very nice. And now, even if he dropped a 7 cost blocker somehow, whatever that would be, he'd be over. But I see he has no Dawn left. I use the effect to get him to trash a card from hand. And, okay, so you have no blocker on the field. You have 3 cards in hand. I'm swinging for 12, and I'm swinging for 15. The game's over, right? Even though my opponent has a 9 cost 10K on board, a 6 cost 7K, and a 7 cost 8K, I just don't care. Because I was able to put on enough pressure early in the game, and that's going to be, he gets a 2K, he got to 10. He would have been able to get to 13K, by the way. Oh, so why didn't, excuse me, he had 1 card left in his life. So, in other words, if I had swung out of order, I'd have lost the game there, probably. Anyway, long story short, I think the only chance we're going to have as Black-Yellow Charlotte Linlin against Purple Luffy, at least from my experience, this is from my experience, is we're going to have to put on the pressure. We're going to have to put on, you know, high amounts of pressure, keep them on the back foot. And I think it's fine if we go first, guys. If you're going to go putting into Pero, into Gadatsu, into 7 Lin, going first is not really an issue. And I didn't draw any of this game, but I run Borsalinos in the deck. I run Sakazuki 6 costs. So we do have a good turn 2, turn 3 going second as well, followed by the best turn 5 play you can go on an even curve with 10 cost Linlin. So we do have that option as well. We have a lot of triggers from life with this deck. We want to punish the opponent, number 1, for taking our life cards, and number 2, for giving us more life cards with things like our Leader's Effect, with the 7 cost Linlin and the 10 cost Linlin. So yeah, that's about it, guys. This was meant to be more of a tutorial style video. I hope y'all enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to put them in the comment section below. I'm still working on the what do you call this? The overlay. I'm still working on the idea here. Y'all just bear with me, guys. I appreciate y'all's patience. But yeah, we're still working on that. And yeah, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, guys, peace.